All right, everybody, welcome to BestofNWF's NXT After Show, November 2015. I was pretty excited to watch NXT again because, of course, Raw was a colossal disappointment, and but this episode of NXT really didn't show us anything, so I'm going to get right down to it. First off, we have Carmella coming out. You know, Enzo and Cass have been hurt; they've been out of the game for a while. And her opponent's Nia Jax. I think we all know that Nia Jax isn't going to lose until a very important match. So her, coming out against Carmella, I feel like they should have just kept doing the jobber talent because Carmella gets a loss, and why? Nia Jax doesn't need to beat Carmella. She could beat anybody. So Nia Jax picks up the win there. Nothing special in that match. So we'll move on. After that, we definitely got some energy in the crowd with the Ascension's return. And, I feel so bad for the Ascension. On Raw, they're portrayed as jokes, which I don't know why. You invest all this time through developmental. They get to the point where they're very popular in developmental. So they've been the longest reigning tag team champions in NXT. So you finally bring them up to the main roster. And what do you do with them? Nothing. I don't know what happened. I don't understand how come when they came out or up to Raw, they should have went on a tear. They didn't have to be tag team champions, but they could have, went on a run, defeated some tag teams, but instead they didn't. They pretty much wasted them away. And, on Raw, they lost to the Dudley Boys in like 2 minutes. And then they come back to NXT. And they're going against probably the most popular team going right now is Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. And it's like, it's another loss. It was a good match. NXT is definitely where the tag team wrestling is for sure. But I just feel bad for the Ascension. I don't understand why you'd invest so much time into talent and then waste it. Like, what's the point of that? Why even have a developmental? Just have people come up and just bury them right away. Like, same with Tyler Breeze. You bring him up from NXT, and for what? It doesn't make any sense. So, Jordan and Gable pick up the victory there, no surprise. So, after that, we have Mary J or Mary K. I couldn't really tell. This happens a lot on NXT if it's kind of a no-name person or something going on because the announcers don't really announce the name. The in-ring announcer, and then the announcers don't really talk about that person. So Mary J or K goes against Emma. Emma looks fantastic right now, and it's I really hope she gets a push too because she's sitting pretty much on the sidelines of the so-called Divas Revolution, and you have enough good, talented women right now. Like in NXT, we have a few different women's feuds happening at the same time. On the main roster, that could be the case too. So hopefully Emma, gets up there and gets to play in the big stage against real opponents. Because when she first got called up, there was nobody there worth even, wrestling. So obviously Emma picks up the victory there. It's kind of a theme of tonight. It's pretty much very predictable who's going to win every match. After that, we have Dawson and Wilder, the new NXT Tag Champions, against two jobbers, Corey and John. I didn't even get their last names because I knew they weren't going to win. Dawson and Wilder pick up the victory there. They're definitely old school, working a body part. And, this was an obvious victory. They should have just made it a squash match. This actually went on a little bit longer than it should have, considering that we knew they were going to win anyway. So after that, we have the main event. We have Bayley defending her women's championship against Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss, wow, she has really come a long way in the past year. When she used to come out in the tutu and blow glitter, she was kind of forgettable. And now, they put her with Blake and Murphy. She went heel, and she's been pretty damn good on the mic. In the ring, I mean, she's not the best, but she definitely can hold her own, especially when she's against a top-tier talent like Bayley. The crowd was on fire for Bayley, as usual. I really hope Bayley just stays in NXT for a while until they have a real reason to get her on the main roster because, I don't want her to go up and then it be wasted away like they have on so many others. So this is another one. I don't think anyone expected Bliss to win on just a regular NXT show, especially a pre-taped one. So, yeah, Bayley picked up the victory there. Bliss looked pretty good. But after the match, which I found kind of interesting, is Eva Marie comes out and to some of the harshest boos I've ever heard. And then you have um, her trying to, cut this promo on Bayley, but the crowd was booing so loud that she couldn't really talk, and she wasn't very good at dealing with them. And, you know, I mean, they're trying to push this lady, but they have so many more talented women, and I get it, looks wise, okay, whatever. But at the same time, what does she have to offer? She's 30 something years old. She's not an elite level wrestler. She's not an elite level talker. Um, she definitely gets a reaction out of the crowd, but I don't think those boos are just boo, you're a bad guy. Those are boos like boo, get out of the building. We don't want to see you at all ever, no matter what. So it'll be interesting to see because she said next week she's going to defend it. So I wonder if she pulls something and actually wins it, and then they have the rematch at London. Not really sure where they're going to go there. So for NXT, it was pretty much by the numbers. It was kind of a holdover. I think they're getting ready to amp up for NXT London. So I'll know the show was okay. Nothing special happened, and it was definitely missing Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. So for NXT, for Best of NWF, this is our NXT After Show. We'll be back for Survivor Series, the sad Roman Reigns inevitable WWE World Champion tournament. So we'll see what goes there. But for this show, we are